Hello, welcome to the Be Active yoga program with me, Kellyann from Kellyannyoga. This is a short yoga video with accessible practices that anyone can try. We want you to be safe during these practices, so please do check with your doctor if you need to. Yoga is a fantastic practice to connect your mind and body. In these videos, we'll look to improve posture and balance, increase strength and flexibility, and include a little bit of relaxation as well. Remember, you're responsible for yourself now and any time that you practice yoga. If you experience palpitations, feel dizzy, or unwell, please do stop. Usually, yoga is practiced with a mat and bare feet. But don't worry, if you don't have these things, it's not entirely necessary for these videos. You may need a chair. If you need to move your furniture, please be sure to use safe lifting practices. You'll need space to move your arms and your legs, so please do be aware of your surroundings. Thank you. I look forward to practicing yoga with you. In this practice, we'll mostly be standing. So take a moment to look around your surroundings and make sure that you'll be able to move your arms and legs safely, remembering that you can leave your shoes on if you need to. So take a moment to find a comfortable stance, maybe taking the outside edges of the feet parallel and taking a little bit more weight into the heels. Center the pelvis on top of the heels and lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And as you arrive at your practice space, put one hand on the heart and one hand on the low belly. And just taking a moment to settle in and to notice, is there anywhere that you're holding onto tension, then perhaps you might be able to soften a little bit here. And as you become aware of the physical sensations in the body, also take a moment to notice the emotional body, the mental body. Not judging if it's good or bad, being present with whatever arises, with kindness and compassion. And then taking the awareness even a little bit deeper to notice your breath, the quality of your breath as it is. And can you breathe a little bit more consciously now into the low belly? Breathe into the low ribs and expand the lungs all the way up. And then as you're exhaling, exhale from the low belly, from the lungs. Letting the breath in start from the low belly and travel up, filling spaces in the lungs that maybe you don't normally get breath, and then exhaling from the low belly and all the breath out from the lungs. One more time like that, breathing in and breathing out. Well done. Our breath is always our most important teacher and a great gift to help calm the mind, to focus, and to bring us back to a state of balance if we need to. But as you feel ready, if we explore into the feet a little bit more, maybe lifting the toes here, spreading the toes nice and wide, and then coming forward a little bit, taking the weight more into the toes, and maybe leaving the heels down. Just for now, going back and forth. And you could have a chair or side of a sofa or something here, to maybe even a wall to keep your balance if you needed to. Just rocking back and forth as far as it feels comfortable, noticing what switches on to stop you from falling forward, and maybe what switches on to stop you from going too far back. If you wanted to, maybe lifting the heels and coming all the way up onto the balls of the toes, but only if that felt comfortable and safe for you today. Good. And then finding somewhere in the center again, the outer edges of the feet and the inner edges of the feet working, and somewhere between the toes and the heels so that you feel balanced. And could you inhale and lift and lengthen through the front of the body? Maybe look up towards the ceiling, but keep the back of the neck nice and long. And then as you exhale, soften the neck and exhale from the low belly. So you're breathing in, looking up, maybe even drawing the shoulder blades closer to the back of the body, and then exhaling and rounding, releasing the back of the neck. Do that one more time, breathing in, gently drawing the shoulder blades together at the spine, opening the heart, and then exhaling and releasing. Navel draws in and the back of the neck softens. When you come back upright, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, come over into a side bend. Just leave both hands down by the hips for now and check in with this shoulder and pelvis, and check in with the feet. Do the feet still feel grounded? If the shoulder's rolling forward, could you just open up a little bit here? Maybe stay like that, or if you feel ready, you could float the arm up as far as it goes for you today and alongside the ear. Good. Keep the feet steady. Taking a breath in here, really consciously exhaling from the low belly. Breathing into the lungs and then exhaling from the low belly. Keep the feet grounded, breathe into the lungs, and then as you exhale, this time lifting up and back to center. Breathing in, and as you exhale, over into the side bend on the second side. Being curious with sensations. What do you notice here? How are those shoulders landing? Could we give ourselves a little bit more space through the side bodies, grounding down through the feet? And then if you feel interested and able to take the arm up today, and floating the arm alongside the ear, staying grounded through the feet and consciously, actively exhaling from the low belly. Breathing into the lungs and then exhaling from the low belly. One last breath in and use that exhalation to come back to center. Good. For this next movement, please do stop if you feel dizzy or unwell. If it feels okay, you might want to take the feet a little bit wider. Give yourself a wider stance and just gently swaying the arms from side to side. Good. If you felt interested and able to, you might take the gaze around, looking over the shoulders. And sometimes tapping at the kidneys or at the low back can be quite nice to help release the low back. And gradually, we're coming back, slowing that down to center. Taking the feet underneath us again. Bringing the hands to the heart. Taking a breath in. And as you inhale, take the arms out, the palms up, and the heart lifts. And then as you exhale, coming back to center. Breathing in, reaching out, lifting the heart. And then exhale back to center. And work with this, stick with this. Or perhaps if it feels comfortable and you're able, maybe just lift the heel off the mat to start with. Exhaling to come back to center. Connect this movement to your breath. Breathing in, lifting the heel, taking the arms out. Perhaps if you felt interested and able, you might tap the toes forward and then come back to center as you exhale. You might stick with the heel, Doing what feels comfortable for you today. Good. And then if you want to go even a little bit further, maybe lifting the knee. Exhaling, coming back to center. You could use the wall or a chair as well. Good. Pausing between sides. And switching to the other leg when you're ready. Inhaling and exhaling. Or perhaps just working with the arms today. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Maybe tapping the toe out. Remembering you can use a wall or a chair. Good. Maybe taking a little bit further if that feels comfortable for you. Don't go too far too fast. No matter where we are, we're strengthening this standing leg. And it's completely fine if you wobble. Good. Coming back to center, pausing for a moment, noticing how you're feeling. We can use a chair or a wall for support for this next movement. If you want to turn towards your support, and then take a breath in and take a breath out to take the right foot back. And just pause here with the heel lifted, lengthen up through the crown of your head as you're breathing in. And then as you're breathing out, if you bring the heel down to the ground and soften this left knee. So breathing in, lifting up, lengthening through the crown of the head, straightening the legs, and then exhaling, bending the knee, bringing the heel back down. Breathing in and breathing out, and maybe just working with the legs and the feet. Inhaling to lift and straighten, and then exhaling to lower. Or if you wanted to take the arms into it as well, breathing in and breathing out. You could use one hand or both hands. Using one hand to keep yourself steady if you need to. Noticing how this bending knee is being supported by the heel. Good. And then releasing both arms down if they're up and stepping forward, just pausing to feel into the legs and into the feet. Taking a breath in. And then as you're breathing out, stepping the opposite leg back, keeping the heel lifted, and find length up through the crown of the head. And then as you're breathing out, if you soften the heel down and bend into that front knee, going as far as it feels comfortable for you today. Exhaling, lowering, bending the knee, inhaling, straightening, and lifting the heel. Just working with the legs and the feet, or perhaps taking the arms into the movement, one arm or both arms. Straightening and lifting out, exhaling and bending. Good. One last time. And then releasing and stepping both feet back together. So one more movement to strengthen the legs and strengthen the thighs. If you could bring your hands to the top of the thighs, taking a breath in, and then as you exhale, bend the knees. Take the bottom nice and far back behind you. Slide the hands down the knees as you come into chair pose. Take a breath in here, and as you exhale, slide the hands back up and press to stand. So breathing in, and then you exhale, bend the knees. And as you're breathing out and bending the knees, can you notice what's happening with the knees here? Try not to let them collapse in. Try not to let them go out. But see if you can keep the knees right on top of the heels. Taking a breath in and then exhaling, pressing to stand. Try that one more time, breathing in. And as you exhale, take the bottom really far back so that you can keep the low back nice and long. See if we can bring the knees a little bit more on top of the heels. Keep the heart lifted, and then exhale, press to stand. Let's do that one more time, and you can have a look here from the side. So keeping the knees tracking over the toes, breathing in, and then as you exhale, take the bottom really far back. So we're not rounding the back here, we're not rounding the back, but seeing if we can keep the heart lifted and the tailbone moving back as we come down into our chair pose. Taking a breath in and then exhaling, pressing to stand. Well done. Take a moment to notice how that's feeling in the legs, and gradually you might work up and hold your chair pose for a couple of breaths. Let's come into relaxation then. So if you want to find a chair, if you need to move a chair, please use safe moving and lifting techniques. And remembering, as you're sitting down, bring the hands to the pelvis, find the back of the chair, stick your bottom really far back behind you, strengthen those legs as you come to sit down. And then maybe sitting back, using the back of the chair if that feels comfortable, or sitting up nice and tall. Bringing one hand to the heart and one hand to the low belly as you arrive into your relaxation, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable. Is there anywhere here that you could soften the jaw and the face, maybe in the shoulders and the feet? Noticing where you feel your breath moving in the body in this moment. What is the quality of your breath? Without judging. Bringing the awareness to your breath and breathing consciously a couple of breaths here in the relaxation, really seeing if you can lengthen the exhalation. Breathing into the low belly, filling the lungs. And then as you're breathing out from the low belly and from the lungs, breathing in and seeing if you can really expand the breath into all the sides of the lungs. And then breathing out soft and slow. Maybe one last breath here. And softly and slowly, as you feel ready to blink the eyes open and come back into your space. Bringing the hands to your heart. Thank you everybody for practicing with us. Really well done, and we'll see you next time.